I know my father's father was an attorney and stockbroker in Lexington, Kentucky. He died a few years before I was born. I know my mother's father was the newspaper editor for the Lexington Herald when I was a child. I recall going to a stockbroker's office with him and watching a bunch of letters and numbers go by. I didn't know what they meant, but they affected his facial expression. I don't know where that office was. I wonder if it was where my other grandfather had worked, but there's no one to ask now. I know my grandfather gave me 100 shares of one stock when I was 6. My father kept the stock certificate for me in a lockbox at the bank. I don't know why he chose that particular company. It was a new one called International Business Machines, or IBM. I know that 20 years later I sold that stock to make a down payment on my first home. I know that when I was 7 years old, I said these words to my friend and neighbor. Yeah, I got a bunch of people working for me in New York, and every once in a while they send me a check. I don't know where that idea about IBM came from. I know I said it because my friend's mother heard it and told my mother, who repeated the story the rest of her life. I know I have been blessed in so many ways. I don't know why. I know I have felt both guilty and grateful. I know being grateful is better for me and others. I know that Jesus uses money as a teachable theme in many of his parables. I know when I hear Jesus say, "To whom much is given, much is required," I take those words to heart. I don't know much about the Islamic faith. I know that there are 5 pillars of Islam, and one of them is almsgiving. I know that zakat means that which purifies, and the common amount of zakat is an annual donation of 2.5% of your total wealth, above a baseline of about $5,000. I know that the Judeo-Christian faith that adopted me and I seek to practice invites an offering of first fruits, or the beginning of a tithe to God. 10% of your income to be given for God's work in the world. While I don't believe people choose a path to follow based on money, I do find it fascinating to ask, would I give more to God each year if I gave 10% of my income or 2.5% of my possessions, property, and investments? I don't know why people don't accept God's invitation to share with others. I know some with less income give more, and some with more income give less. I don't know why some believe you give to God like you feed a slot machine. The more you give, the bigger the payout. I know that to the extent I have lived a thankful life of caring and sharing with others, I have received profound joy. I know a lot less than I know, and I know I am grateful for guides, teachers, and mentors in the scriptures, the church, and my life who deepen my wisdom. What do you feel called to do with what you have been given? How do you share the time, talent, treasure, and testimony you have received?